Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Health Chats podcast. I am your host, Kelsey Grieveson, and this is a live call from my coaching community where I go through how to own your metabolism. I talk about total daily energy expenditure, your BMR, how you capitalize on prioritizing steps and protein and drinking water, just like all of the scientific, educational facts behind how you can actually make your body work for you by working smarter, not harder. I enjoyed this conversation today. I hope you do too. So let's dive in. This is one of my favorite topics. I feel like I say that every week. So before we start, we're going to meditate for a short 5 minutes and then we'll dive right in. So wherever you are, whether you're if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. If you're doing something, don't close your eyes, but try to tune into your awareness. If you're able to close your eyes, please do. And just find your breath. Find your breath here. Notice what it's doing. Notice if maybe you weren't breathing up until I mentioned your breath, the breath. And our breath is something that is always with us. Right? Like this is a tool we have inside of ourselves, our lungs. They almost work for us without us even knowing. It is what keeps us alive. It's the first thing we do when we're brought into this world, when we're given life. And they say in some of the ancient scripture that you can go days without food, days without water, but you cannot go days without breathing. Yet we prioritize food, we prioritize water, and we don't prioritize our breath. And so as you settle in and you hear my voice, tune into that sense of sound and you take a deep inhale breath and breathe into your lower belly, lower diaphragm. Feel the expansion, and through your mouth, exhale. Feel the contraction. And just take 2 more breaths like that. Big inhale to your lower belly, maybe biggest one you've taken all day. And big exhale through your mouth. And one more like that, bigger than the last. Inhale, inhale, expand big like you're blowing up a balloon in your belly. And through your mouth, sigh it out, go, ah. And then find your regular rhythm of breath here. Maybe it's a little bit slower than the regular that existed before those last 3 breaths. And from this place, breath creates presence. Breath brings us to the moment that is here in front of us. So in this moment, start to bring to mind your intention. Why are you here? What would you like to get out of this moment? When we give ourselves the time and the space to really slow down, we realize that we do have a choice. We can choose how we would like to feel in this moment, what we would like to consume in each moment, whether it's information, food, drinks, energy. So just think right now, what is that intention for you? And when you have it, take one more deep inhale breath to your belly, big, big breath in. And big release through your mouth. Let go of what you don't need. Beautiful. If your eyes were closed, blink them back open. You can open your eyes. And if you're willing to share, drop it in the chat. What is your intention? Whether it's for this moment, for the rest of today, or maybe it's your intention being here. If you would like to lean into the courage to share, I would love to hear it. I would love, love, love to hear your intentions. I'll share my intention to start off every morning when I do a meditation. My Insight Timer app, it asks me, what is your intention for the day? And what I know is through consistency, through repetition, that's when things really land. So the one I've been setting each day is surrender. I want to surrender to what it is that life's giving me. Whether it's good or bad, life is giving it to me for some reason. That's my intention lately. All right. So, our metabolism. I'm going to talk about protein, water, and steps when it comes to metabolism because what's been coming up a lot with check-ins with you ladies, I create this based off of my conversations that I'm having with you on a daily basis, and it's been I'm busy, right? Like we're really busy. We've got a lot going on. And so I thought, okay, how can I help you see that you can still see results even with the busyness? And what that comes down to is narrowing it down to what's the most important thing. So let's start. What is metabolism? Because we all know, like, metabolism. You've probably heard some people say, like, I have a really slow metabolism, or young people, oh, I have such a fast metabolism. I can eat anything, right? But what is it really? Metabolism is every chemical process your body uses to keep you alive. It converts food and drink into energy. Our bodies are so fascinating because they run 24/7. It's not just when we eat something and when we move our bodies, it is happening all of the time. And it is not fixed. This is something we have control over, more control than you would probably even think. And the three main levers, or I guess I want to call them layers more to it, is what you eat, how you move, and your body composition. Building muscle, when it comes to body composition, this is the most powerful metabolizer. This is how you can really, really own your metabolism. The more muscle you have on your body, the more you can simply exist and be burning calories, which is really cool. So there's something called our TDE, and I'm going to get into some terminology without making it sound too super complicated, but enough to help you understand. Our TDEE is our total daily energy expenditure, what we're expending in the day. We're spending it, pretend you're spending money. This is the energy we're spending. And it's broken down into four components. BMR, which is just us literally existing. This is us breathing, sleeping, staying alive, just being a human being. This has the highest impact on our metabolism. 60 to 70% of what we burn comes from just existing. So this is where, when you have more muscle mass on your body, it's working for you without you even doing anything. The next one is NEAT. This is your non-exercise activity. This is going on walks, getting your daily steps. This is fidgeting. You see me with my hands talking all the time. This is like daily life, taking the stairs, doing things like gardening, cleaning up in the kitchen. This is your NEAT. The next one is exercise. So this is the gym. These are your structured workouts that we have in each and every one of your calendars. This is sports. This is intentional training. What's interesting about this is it only makes up 5 to 10% of your metabolism. It's one of the lowest. It actually is the lowest, which is crazy. And then the last one is your thermic effective food, your TEF. It's not as easy to say as NEAT and EAT, but your TEF. And this is when we eat food, we burn calories. So by digesting and absorbing nutrients, we burn 8 to 15% of calories just by eating food. I'm going to go over like what is the most important food to eat to help us kind of optimize each and every single one of these. So total expenditure, this is what I just went over, but if you are watching this and maybe not listening and you want to read through it, the breakdown of each and every one, I want to share like why does this really matter? So caloric deficits per day, which many of you are in because our goal is weight loss, 500 calories can equate to zero point 0.5 kg per week. 60 and 70% comes from your BMR, right? Having more muscle raises this. 10 to 30% comes from the other ones, steps. So before we get into the steps, I want to get into protein and why I'm always like, yo, you need to have your protein. Why aren't you hitting your protein? Protein, protein. Like I'm preaching protein constantly. Why is it a non-negotiable? So protein is the building block of every muscle, enzyme, and hormone in your body. Without protein, your body will break down muscle for fuel. And if you think the people with more muscle mass, they have a higher metabolism. If you're using your muscle for fuel, if you're not hitting your 100 grams a day, 120, 130, some you all have different goals, you are slowing your metabolism down. So most people, especially women, we eat way less protein than we need. And then we wonder, why am I not seeing results? I'm in a deficit. I'm eating low calories. That's because your protein keeps you fuller longer. It fuels your muscles so they can actually build. And naturally, it will actually keep your caloric intake lower because you're feeling full from it. It also stabilizes your blood sugar. It helps with cravings and it helps with any energy crashes. Many of us get to 3 p.m. and we're like, oh, I need a chocolate bar or I need a bag of chips or whatever it is that your body is craving in that moment when it crashes. Most of the time, it's because you haven't had enough protein in the day. So, muscle growth, protein or muscle, it is again the most metabolically active tissue, right? Higher BMR. When we go and we resistance train, which are your structured workouts through the week, this creates micro tears in your muscles. So we're literally breaking it down. It doesn't sound lovely, but that's what we're doing. We're breaking our muscles down so they can grow back together and they can repair. This is muscle protein synthesis. If we we do all the workouts, but we don't properly refuel, our body doesn't have the cement, is what I want to call it, to build that foundation and put it all back together. So protein is so important when it comes to the workouts that you are doing. This is going to help us truly see that physical result, but also optimize your BMR. Now, food. So the thermic effect of food is kind of cool because when we eat, we think, okay, calories in, but our body is digesting and it's processing the food. If we look at the three main macronutrients, we have carbs, fats, and proteins. Carbs, when you're eating them, is only 5 to 10% of calories being burned when you're eating it. Like thermically, it's not really doing much. I'm not saying they're not important. You still need to eat them. Fats are lower, 0 to 3% when you're eating fats, but protein is 20 to 30%, which is insane. Like if you eat 200 calories of chicken, your body burns 50 to 60 of those calories just by eating it. Just by you put it in your mouth, you chew it. That's where digestion starts. And then it goes down and it does its thing in your body. So protein literally costs more energy just to eat it. You're burning calories by eating your protein. Everyone eat your protein. Woo! Now simple high protein foods. And I know I go over these time and time again, but it's always nice to hear it. Chicken breast, turkey, Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt is the best. Eggs, get your eggs, cottage cheese, simple ones, canned tuna or canned salmon, legumes if you don't eat meat, lentils, chickpeas. One that I've been eating a lot lately because I'm in a big vegan culture out here is tempeh. It's actually delicious if you can cook it right or get it cooked right. But the tip there is really to build every meal you're having around protein first. Not just because we know it keeps us full, not just because we know that we have these protein goals, but because by having this source of protein on your plate, you are literally burning calories by choosing to have it there. So first protein, then add everything else in. Now the next one I want to go over is water. So we've talked about water, we've talked about protein, BMR. But let's talk about the importance of water, because I know many of you, when we look at your calendar, even from the first day that you start here with us and you join the program, we have steps and we have water and we usually give you a nutrition goal, right? It's like, okay, why all of these things? So water, your body is roughly 60% water. We're made of water. where if we didn't have like all of the skin and whatever holding it together, we would probably just melt onto the floor. That's a weird visual, but we are made of water and every metabolic process depends on it. So even if you are just slightly dehydrated, this will impact your physical performance for how you show up at the gym, but also just mental clarity, how you show up at work, doing your job, how you show up in your relationships, communicating with your partner, with your children. So by drinking even 500 mils of water, this can increase your metabolic rate by 30%. And it also helps transport nutrients into the cell to get rid of any waste product. You've probably heard of detoxes where people are like, oh, yeah, I'm on a detox. Like I'm taking this supplement and this thing and that thing and like whatever they are. Our body has a natural detoxification system. It's called our liver and our kidneys. And if we drink enough water, it will actually do its job and get rid of any of that waste naturally. We don't need supplements. We don't need to add any of that in. So if you're feeling fatigued, unfocused, hungry, first question is, am I hydrated? When was the last time I had water? First thing in the morning, drink your water. So hunger and cravings, the cool thing about your brain is the hunger and the thirst signals, they're both from the hypothalamus. So that's where it can get confusing, where you're like, yeah, am I hungry? And if you're questioning that, I would say when a craving hits, pause, take the pause, drink a glass of water, then wait 10 minutes. Swapping one sugary drink or one snack per day can actually reduce your caloric intake over a year by 50,000. So notice in yourself, okay, if I'm feeling a craving, do I normally grab a glass of orange juice or do I go for those vitamin waters that are like kind of sweet? Can we swap that for water? Because even just drinking an extra 2 glasses of water per day can reduce your intake by 13, which makes a really big difference when it comes to weight loss. Now, muscle tone. So water, yeah, it's about cravings, but it's also about muscle tone because our muscles are made of 75% water. They're mainly water. So it directly impacts their appearance, one, but also performance. I know we had a water challenge going on was that April last month? And so many of you, you saw the scale just completely drop immediately. How cool was that? When we're dehydrated, our muscles, they look flat, they look depleted. We hold water in different areas. So water supporting the muscle, it also supports the connective tissue, the fascia. It keeps everything firm, it keeps everything toned. And electrolytes, I know many of you are like, okay, well, should I be hydrating with electrolytes? Absolutely. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, but they work with water. So yes, have your electrolyte daily if you do struggle, but also with water. Don't just drink, make sure you replenish the minerals, especially if you sweat a lot. That's something I'm experiencing here. It's very hot. So that's water and muscle tone. Next one, steps. So we've got BMR, we've got steps, we've got water. This is our non-exercise movement, right? In the whole TDEE, steps, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is not our structured exercise. Walking, climbing, housework, standing, fidgeting, all of this count towards our NEAT, towards our steps. This is the 30% of your metabolism that you're optimizing. And most of us, we underestimate that, but we overestimate the gym, right? We're like, okay, I've got to get my workouts in this week to lose weight. But steps, if we look at the grand scheme, they actually have a bigger impact on your metabolism, on your weight loss than your workouts. So if you are someone, back to the beginning of this, who's like, I'm so busy, I can't get my workouts and I don't know what to prioritize your steps above all else. Weight loss is the goal. Steps should be your non-negotiable. And if you get your workouts in, that's extra. And if you're like, well, Kelsey, like you have on my calendar that I need to do all of these things. Let's talk about it. I'm here to work with you. If your life is too busy and you're not able to get your workouts in, I'm not going to be like, you got to go get your workouts in. No, we're going to figure out a plan that is sustainable and that works for you. And so steps, prioritizing that, even just a 60-minute walk can increase calories by about 2,000 or 1,000 to 2,000. So if we look at steps versus no steps, if you're getting 5,000 steps per day, this is an extra 250 calories burned. This is moderate for your NEAT contribution, lower cardiovascular benefit. But if we double that, this could be an extra 500, better for your NEAT, significant for your cardio. This also improves insulin sensitivity, which I know many of us struggle with. And it supports fat loss without dieting. That's the second piece, which I like to mention because we enjoy food, right? Like food is an enjoyable thing. We like to go on vacation and try these new cultured foods, or even at home, maybe you cook some foods that are higher calories sometimes. If you don't want to give up those foods, increase your steps. Let's get your steps up. Let's make sure that we're prioritizing that, because it's not always about cutting calories. It could be about burning more calories in a way that's not extreme, that's not intense on your body. So easy ways to add them. If you're on phone calls, take it on a walk. I was just on a walk this morning. I called my parents. Walk further away or get off transit, like one stop earlier. Take the stairs, don't take the elevator. After you eat your meals, this is really good for blood sugar and also digestion. Go on a walk, even if it's just around the house. Set a movement alarm every hour if you do notice, like, oh, wow, just got stuck at my desk for 8 hours. Walking meetings, bring that in. If you have a lot of meetings in your work throughout the day, see if you can take it on a walk, wherever that is. And then a morning walk before checking your phone. This I love. I practice this every day. It helps with mental clarity too. So let's put it all together. Simple daily checklist. First thing in the morning, 500 mils before coffee of water. 500 milliliters of water. We know the impact of water. Build every meal around your protein source. We're aiming for 30 grams of protein per meal. If it's more, even better. Walk for at least 20 minutes, ideally after your meals. But if you can't do 20 minutes, do 10. It all adds up. Track your steps, which I know you all do. And when a craving hits, pause, water first, wait 10 minutes, then decide, okay, do I still want this chocolate bar? Do I still want this bag of chips? And then sleep. We have another call that is going to be on sleep coming in June, but poor sleep makes all of this so hard. So prioritizing your sleep in the best way that you can, it tanks NEAT and protein when we're not getting enough sleep. So prioritize your sleep as best as you can. And that's all I have. If this episode was helpful, impactful, educational, inspiring for you, please like and subscribe and share it with someone who you think might need it. My goal is to get more guests on the podcast. So if you know someone, or if you are someone who listens to these and you're like, I think this would be impactful, please reach out, send me a message on Instagram. It's the best place to reach me. You can also send me an email if you're not on social media. All of that is linked below. And as always, thank you so much for listening. It makes my heart so happy that you want to spend this much time with me. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.